Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our craft of the week that is based on mice. Today, we're going to learn how to make two simple crafts using construction paper and using basic shapes that I bet you guys know to create some little mice. And this is our inspiration sheet, so you can take a look. And we're going to be making this kind of mouse right up here using, what shape is that? Do you know? It's a circle. And what shape is the mouse's head? The brown mouse's head. It is a triangle. So that is the shape. Those are the two shapes we're going to use to make this mouse. And then I'll show you guys how to make this mouse, which is based on heart-shaped. Here's another little picture of those little mice heart-shaped. And I thought this one goes really well with the book Miss Rachel read to you about the mice getting into the paint and making all the different colors. So you can pretend that the mice are coated in paint and very dirty mice, and they've got blue bodies and yellow ears and green or whatever. And we're going to use heart shapes for that one. So the good thing about this craft is it doesn't really require a ton of material. So we want to make sure that you're able to do it at home until you can come back to the library and do it with us in person. So you just need some construction paper. Got 3 colors right here. I got my blue and red for election day. I'm wearing my blue sweater for election day. I have scissors and a Sharpie. I have school glue. I have the big googly eyes container from the craft and some black thread. So this craft is really simple. We're going to start with these little mice that we're going to make. And you can use materials that you might have at home, like pom-poms or pipe cleaners, to add to them, or you can do it really simply with just the construction paper. So the first thing we're going to do is cut a triangle, an equilateral triangle. That means that all of the sides of the triangle are the same length and all the angles of the triangle are the same length, kind of like a slice of pizza. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a nice blue triangle. See, there's like my slice of pizza. I'm going to use my example sheet as the paper. So I've got my blue paper and I'm going to glue it down. You might want to use a glue stick for this part too, but I've got my school glue handy, so I'll just use that. I'm going to glue it down on my paper. Then I'm going to use a different color, or you could use the same color if you want. It doesn't really matter, whatever creativity, whatever it points you to. And I'm going to cut out 2 circles about the same size, as good as I can make them the same size. And they can be pretty big or they can be small. It's up to you, because these are the mouse's ears. So there's my circle. It's not very circle-like. It's definitely a strange oval, but that's okay, because mouse ears aren't really perfectly circle anyway. And try to make my other mouse ear the same size about. Another really bad circle, but that's okay. We're going to go with it. And so you're going to take the 2 mice ears and glue them onto 2 corners of your triangle. So we're using just triangles and circles, easy shapes to cut out no matter how little you are. If you can use scissors, you can definitely, with help, cut these shapes out. So then I've got my little mouse head. See, there's my mouse head. And I'm going to use a black marker. I have a Sharpie because I like Sharpies, but you can use any black marker or brown marker, crayons or colors or whatever you like to use to draw on a nose at the other tip, the last tip of the triangle. So I'm drawing a little nose, and then I'm drawing little tiny whiskers. This is a good spot where you could use the thread if you wanted, and you could cut 3 pieces of thread. 1, 2. Oops, my thread's rolling away from me, guys. 3 pieces of thread, and then you could glue them down with your school glue with the school glue on the nose. And these can be the whiskers, and then your mouse is a little three-dimensional. So I drew whiskers, but I'm also gonna use my thread whiskers. So this mouse is extra whiskery. This one's a little too long, so I'll just give him a whisker trim. We all need a haircut once in a while, so do mice. Or this mouse anyway. So put a little more school glue on, and I have my 3 more whiskers down. And then using my favorite thing, googly eyes, because they make all your creatures come to life and look extra cool. Let me find 2 googly eyes. You can see we have lots. I don't know what this feather is doing there, but we have lots of different sized googly eyes. Some of them are really tiny, and they don't get used much because they're too tiny for little kid fingers. Too tiny for adult fingers, too. So I'm going to find 2, if I can grab it, they're going everywhere, 2 eyes that are the same to be my mouse eyes. You can also, if you don't have googly eyes, you can, of course, draw on your eyes. So I've got 2 googly eyes, and I'm just attaching them with school glue to my mouse where I imagine their eyes would be. And that's really it. Super simple, right? And what I think is fun is that you can fill the rest of the page with more mice, and maybe you could be creative and use a circle with 2 triangles and make a cat that is chasing them. I just thought of that. That'd be fun because cats like to chase mice. Although I have a cat, and my cat is not helping in getting rid of the mice that have come inside my house for the winter. Maybe he's deterring them. I mean, there haven't been as many perhaps, but he has not yet caught a mouse. And that's not for lack of mice inside, unfortunately. So that would be a fun picture to put together. Another thing you can do, which I did in my example, is you can draw on a tail or use a pipe cleaner. So I use a squiggly line to be the mouse's tail. So there's my little mice. And you can see in my example that I created earlier, I used pom-poms for the ears because that's what we have here, and a pipe cleaner for the tail. But I still used marker or a crayon for the nose and whiskers. But you can do whatever you want using whatever materials you have at home and works best for you. So this one's really easy. You can make a whole little bunch of mice. You can change the sizes of them. And it's just a triangle and 2 circles. So there we are with our mice. So the next mouse that we are going to make, because I couldn't decide which one I liked best, and I thought they were both cool because they're really based on simple shapes, is a little heart mouse. And this mouse is fun because you can play with him. He's not attached to paper, so he can run around with you. So how do you make this mouse? It is another simple shape, which is the heart. So you're gonna do a heart shape cutout. You can see that for the ears. And then you're gonna do a heart shape cutout for the body. And see if you can tell that the body is 1/2 of a heart. It'd be easier if you look at it from the other side. So the body is just 1/2 of a heart. So the easiest way to do this is to take your piece of paper, your construction paper, and fold it in half. And if you want to, I have a googly eye stuck on me, you can draw your heart shape ahead of time, your half heart, so that you know where you want to cut, or you can just cut as you go, depending on how you feel. So I drew half a heart onto my paper, and I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to actually make mine a little bigger than I drew, so it's not going to be quite, I'm not cutting along my line, but that's okay. So here is my heart. That's going to be the mouse's body, like this. And then I'm going to take another piece of paper. I'll go back to my yellow, and I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to fold it not in half all the way, although you can. I'm just going to fold it a little bit of the way, about 1.5 inches fold, and then I'm going to cut another heart. And I'm going to draw mine first because sometimes when I draw cut freehand, it doesn't come out looking like what it's supposed to. So I drew a little half heart on my yellow paper, and these are going to be the ears. So I'm just going to cut right inside my black Sharpie line so that the line isn't on my finished product. And there's my ears, and I open it up, and it's a little heart. So with this mouse, like the others, you're going to need some glue. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue on my ears onto my mouse. I think I could have maybe made the ears a little bigger, but that's okay. This mouse has tiny ears. I'm putting some glue on my heart. There we go. Got the ears. Now I'm going to get my googly eye and make a eye. But you can draw an eye too. Let's see if I can grab this eye. There's sneaky. And I'm going to use my same marker to draw a little nose. And I am going to use my string, a longer piece of string this time, to be a tail. So I just take the piece of string. It can be any kind of string. A thread is fine. And I'm going to put on the inside of my heart, I'm going to put a little glue right along the fold and stick my mouse tail in there. Right like that. You can see my mouse tail's on the fold. And while I have my heart open, I'm also going to make my whiskers. So I'm going to cut 3 little pieces. You can do more, you can do 4, you could do 5, however many whiskers you want your mouse to have. So here are my whiskers. And I am going to put some glue on my heart to fold it up so it stays shut, so the mouse's body. And then on the tip of his nose, or her nose, I'm going to put some of my glue. Now remember, the glue dries clear, so even though I put white on top of my black nose, it will dry clear and you won't be able to see the glue, which is nice. And I've got my 3 threads, and I'm just laying them down in the glue and letting them sit to dry. That's the one part that's kind of hard, is that you have to sit and wait for this mouse to dry before you can play with him. And my mouse is not dry, so before you are going, you could see what the little heart mouse looks like. And I was thinking you could even do the same things on the other side, do another set, a matching set of yellow ears, and put another set of eyes, and draw your little nose so that your mouse can work from both directions, which is not something I had done previously, but makes perfect sense. Oops. I touched the wet glue and the whiskers came off. That's what's happened if you don't wait until the glue dries. So there's my little heart-shaped mouse. And here's his friend that I made on Friday. I used pipe cleaner for the tail. You can see his whiskers. And the googly eye makes a nice little noise. So your little mice can run around the house and play with each other. And you can make a little mouse home for them. And have a lot of fun making creations of your own and adding to this really easy base of 2 hearts to make a whole mouse family and a whole mouse invasion. So that is the craft today. It is how to make a mouse using simple shapes, triangle and 2 circles, or 2 hearts, and using some thread or pipe cleaners, whatever you have at home, you can use for this craft. It should be easy peasy, and hopefully you guys could post some pictures of the mice that you make, and I would love to hear about them and see them when we can return to in-person library time. I miss everybody. I hope you're enjoying the snow that we have today, and I hope you enjoy the warmth that's coming after the snow. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.